Hello, I'm Alec Boere. I've been working in the space of AI for the last 9 years, been advising organizations in terms of the application of AI across banking in a number of different guises, from strategy to execution. Transparency is no longer optional. It's really foundational in terms of what we're thinking about with regard to banking. We're at a time where consumers, regulators, and employees expect openness in terms of how data is used, where decisions come from, how risks are managed. And with AI and real-time systems driving more decisions behind the scenes, people want clarity and control. If we don't get ahead of that, we risk losing trust, which is the currency of the financial services sector. With regard to the points with regard to trust in terms of financial services, with that increased transparency in terms of what banks and institutions are doing with your data, this actually allows organizations to drive a better customer experience, but also in the same regard, it builds a deeper customer loyalty, even with regard to internal collaboration, with regard to people in the organization, as well as also the digital tools and services that a consumer is using with regard to a bank. Ultimately, banking or people managing their money is almost a part-time job, and the ability of a financial services organization to be able to do that and provide that service and using AI and driving this through transparency ultimately delivers a better outcome for both the customer, most importantly, in terms of how they can manage their financial well-being, as well as also how a financial organization or institution can endear that trust, which is core to those in the financial services sector. When you start to think about the application of AI, it's almost been seen as a black box approach. But actually, with those kind of aspects in terms of how we can really leverage the technology to really sort of drive a better customer experience or meeting the customer needs better, I think these key aspects are really around actually how do we start to enable organizations like banks to really innovate in terms of their experience and actually in the same regard enabling customers to really start to see the benefits of some of these technologies in their space. I think really, with regard to some of the emergence of mobile banking, which has been around for a long time now, it's more the immediacy of being able to have access to where you stand from a financial perspective, the immediacy to be able to see transactions, the immediacy to be able to see actually where you are in terms of your budgets, etc. I think it's more the accessibility as the bigger aspect which has been given to consumers. And then in turn, that is helping people better manage and better understand some of the aspects in terms of what they want to get out of their hard-earned money. But I think technology has a key aspect in terms of really sort of enabling that and giving people that clear understanding of really where they sit and what actually they can do and how they can better allow an organization or how their hard-earned money to really achieve their own goals. So it's really, to some degree, is much about giving people more predictability and fairness and openness with regard to actually where they are and where they stand with regards to their financial well-being. This is much about, I guess, personalization. How can you then better understand if people have got particular goals, objectives, that there could be a life-changing event in their scenario? The fact this technology and data, which is fundamental to really understanding the transactions, the incomings, the outgoings, or the sums of what people have in terms of their financial well-being. That interpretability that actually a bank can apply in terms of really being a financial services organization and really helping people better manage their money, better manage their outcomes in terms of what they want to try and achieve against their own objectives. These technologies really have got the potential to really provide that personalized financial services as opposed to just products, but services that can help people achieve their own particular objectives in terms of managing their day-to-day. Transparency really plays a big part in terms of innovation in banking, especially when you consider AI. In transparency, when we're thinking about building systems that can deliver their personalization, can deliver predictions in terms of the types of things you should be looking at to do, or maybe even providing recommendations. I think really that ability to be able to be clear in terms of actually the types of decisions and why a particular option has been presented or why a bank is suggesting you to go to a particular route, Those aspects are really important in terms of financial literacy of your customer base, but also in the same regard with regard to actually allowing the bank to really innovate and drive a better customer experience. Customer experience is fundamental. Yes, people, especially in some markets in Europe, don't switch banks, but I think there's a higher demand in terms of actually a better experience that we're getting from financial services organizations. That's why transparency in terms of actually delivering these services is quite core in terms of actually allowing a bank to really innovate and start to drive a better experience. When we think about AI, and I think really there is a bit of a misconception that financial institutions have around transparency, and it's something that really does slow innovation. There's much concern around actually where does risks sit, but if we have transparency in terms of the kind of systems that banks deliver, that reduces the friction with the regulators, and also most importantly, that drives a deeper customer loyalty, which obviously helps the bank achieve its goals as well as also delivering a better experience to its end customer base.